Hi, welcome back to the channel, TrainStation 2. Alright, this is the last competition, and I must say that Muskie is like a maniac with a magnetic power, able to attract me all the time. And even in the last competition, he's going to stick with me. Alright, so of course, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 epic trains that I got as well. So it's really lucky, 2 of which is from those containers, and of course the last one is the event epic train, the Sakura train. Alright, so with that epic train, I would have achieved my target for this Japanese event. Although I did miss one of these competitions, I'm really happy that I managed to get 2 legendaries, one from those event keys and the other one from those event coins. So with the balance event coins, if I gain any from this event competition, the last one, I'll use it all on gold because that's really important. Everything upgrading is so expensive. Alright, so one prize is waiting for me at the train depot. Let's check it out later. I think it's a train. Alright, let's take a look right now. What do we get? Alright, although it's a duplicate, but nonetheless in an epic train, I'm really happy with that. So this is the start of the competition itself. You can see quite a number of people not really participating at this last competition, probably tired after hitting 100%. But of course, there's still a handful who are actually very aggressive with a good EP hit start. Alright, so checking in the background as usual to see who they are, and of course then of course to check their levels as well as their company value. I think the levels are more or less fixated. I think this Japanese event, as mentioned, will be the first that the developer has done that matching job, which means that all your competitors are of the somewhat the same levels. And of course, I think you're going to insert people who spend gems in your group as well, so as to notch you towards spending gems as well. But I do not fall for that trick. Alright, so if you do not want to spend real money to buy gems, do not fall for the trick. Alright, so I just urge you again. And of course, reach the end of this and let's see what we get. Alright, this is another duplicate, but it's perfectly fine. I mean, if really there are a lot of them already, one way is to use them for parts, because eventually you want to upgrade your epic trains to a higher capacity, and lack of epic parts, these trains will come in handy. At this juncture, just keep them for a purpose. Later on then we'll dismantle them. So there are a lot of items are requested as usual in the after hitting 100%. But lucky me, I have a lot of those items prepared, like the Lucky Cat and Umbrella. So that really hits well this round. Unlike the last round, I mean, whatever you're prepared, they're not asking, they're asking things that you're not prepared. So you can see there the number 1 is really fast. Throughout the whole competition, I believe there'll be someone like that who's really fast. One of the reasons why they can do so is definitely the high capacity train and the type of trains, and of course dispatcher and a good warehouse spacing. I think these are the so-called key criteria that people win. And of course the other one I think is because of the level. Probably of a lower level you'll get easier jobs and of course better EP returns. And last but not least, there could be a good chance the person playing may be able to manipulate not completing 100%. If you're stuck at 99%, your life will be so much easier. So this is something I think we're going to ponder about in the next competition event, whether do we want to rush all the way or do we want to really win the competitions for those event coins. If so, probably 99% storing it may be worth it. Just focus on 2 jobs instead of 3 and see how things work out, because eventually in the long run probably you'll be benefiting from that low quantity request. Alright, so you can see here gap is starting to widen slightly. So far able to we hold the second position based on the good amount of quantities that I've already prepared for Japanese items especially, and then just got to go and deliver it straight away. So with that, actually it cuts down a lot of time in manufacturing. But of course, these things will run dry. Eventually, we'll need to start making them all over again in the midst of this very long but last competition. I'm really glad we came towards an end of this Japanese event. Not the best event ever. Actually, in fact, one of the worst events ever played. The fact that with the so-called grouping in this new methodology that the developer has so-called embarked on, make things more difficult for free-to-play. So actually, I dread playing this event, especially when every single event you're grouped with someone that actually willing to spend gems to fight for the top spot. So it's quite unfair. I mean, that's life. I mean, unless you're willing to spend real money, and that's what the developer wants. So if you do not want to spend real money, they will put someone like Mobsky who is able to pay and then eventually win. So that will notch you to basically wanting to pay for so-called gems itself. But do not fall for a trick. I'm going to urge you one more time. Very important, you know what you want. If you want to gain trains from this event, like for example, I already hit my target. My first target is to get 2 legendaries and already gotten them, and the second target is to get an epic, which I'll show you later on. So there's actually no need to spend real money to hit your target. There's no point in getting first in every competition by spending real money. So that is really not the point. I think more importantly, you're going to know where you want. Actually, I'm quite happy if I'm able to get a top 5 every time without spending a single cent. And I did realize that maybe Mobsky is not Australian, but probably a Filipino. So probably that's the reason why we are so alike in terms of time zone. So it is really difficult sometimes if you have people playing at the same time zone. So again, that is something I did realize there may be a change because when I'm sleeping or I'm not playing, the other activities, so-called other players are inactive. So if that's the case, all of us may be the same region. So this could be another change in terms of the methodology. In the past, they group people of different levels, they group people of different regions. So there was a good chance that we will win competitions given the fact that this ends at 8 p.m. Singapore time at this region. But given the fact that we are having competitors in the same region, people are still active throughout the whole period, but probably people in the Europe, USA may be sleeping. So probably this is fairer approach in terms for the friends in USA and Europe counterparts. But of course, for us, we don't get that advantage anymore. So again, these are the few changes I do noted from the Japanese event that makes life difficult. But nonetheless, I'm happy to reach my second target, which I'm going to show you really fast. Alright, I've attained my Sakura Shinkansen. Basically, it stands for the national flower of Japan, and Shinkansen is basically bullet train. So I'm really wanting to change another train if possible, like another common train, maybe the Shinobi, and then that will conclude this event. If able to get even better, then probably the the yellow doctor train. But nonetheless, not really crucial. I already completed my targets for this event. I'm really glad where I am. I think contentment is really important. If you feel contented, doesn't really matter. I mean, there's no need to compete in terms of making sure that you have everything where people has it. I think end of the day, you know what you want. If you need to basically force yourself in being another person or not yourself, then I think life will be more miserable. End of the day, bear in mind, this is just a game. Enjoy it to the fullest. Do not be stressed over it. Do not really affect your health. Although it may be a bit, especially when you stay up late or you do not have a peaceful sleep during competition. I think that's common. But that's the fun of this game, right? I mean, otherwise, what would keep you awake? If it's not about game, I think that's worse. But if having a heavy game that keeps you awake, I think that's great. Alright, so coming towards the end of this video, I do wish you good points in the last competition and all the best. Thank you again. Goodbye. To see you in the next video.